And he's like, I gotta go.
Who's Benny talking? Oh, is he talking to his wife?
Yeah, his
Yeah.
wife.
Oh, okay.
Huh? I don't have a carrot. I told you this before.
Do you have any carrots? Have you any carrots?
That's not carrots. Those are plums and berries.
I really want to be in Benny's house right now.
You're recording this right now? Because this is
Yes.
hilarious.
Yes, I am.
You guys suck.
I
I've got
really
my
want
garden
to know.
in my choco still. What do you want me to do? Want me to feed him the yellow button? Do you want me to feed the lemon or not?
Do we have any squash in the garden?
Shut the fuck up, bro.
I want to make some steak and
You
vegetables.
can't grow squash in this game.
What game are you playing?
You're not even
Final Fantasy
talking about real
14.
fruit, are you? This is like a virtual garden, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my virtual garden.
Oh, okay.
God damn it.
I thought you like really had a garden where you had
I was
carrots
like,
and
this is
berries.
amazing. We're really learning a lot of great stuff about Benny right now, but like,
Secretly a garden.
I mean, I could see you like out in your garden, like tilling the garden,
yeah.
on your hands and knees, like planting berries and stuff.
What do you want me to do?
This will
Yeah.
make a
No.
fine wine one day.
Do you want me to go back in the iPad? Okay.
Just don't forget the carrots.
Shut up.
Okay. So I'm actually making tea right now.
Awesome.
Chamomile tea. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna sleep well tonight, man.
I was going to say,
I'm gonna be out like a light.
yeah.
Do you want
Throw a
to do it
little
now?
bourbon in there. What?
Yeah, I'm all ready whenever you guys are.
I'll be right
Okay.
back, guys.
All
Going
right.
back
Oh
to
my
bed.
God, really?
Did you leave? Are you?
I'm going to, yes.
God damn it. You know, it's almost 3 here, right?
Yeah, it's almost 3 here too. But
Wait,
I don't-
Rob, where are you at? Like, where do you live?
I'm in Kentucky.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I thought it was Kentucky, and Tiffany asked me earlier. She's like, "Where's Rob live?" I'm like, "I think he lives in Kentucky."
Mm-hmm.
Because we were talking about how, like, if you guys came out to Jersey, like, you guys haven't actually had real pizza.
I have had pizza, believe it or not.
Yeah, you had pizza, but not real pizza.
Okay, you never had pizza until you had Slice of Chicago, but it doesn't matter because they shut down.
Like in Chicago?
No, like Lexington, but it's Slice of Chicago. It's called Slice of
Like
Chicago
Lexington.
pizza.
You did, trust me, dude. You'll be like, oh,
I was Damn, oh, wait a minute. I'm not
Yeah.
all out of batteries.
Oh.
Oh, hold on 1 second.
okay.
What?
Well, you gotta go too.
Sal, just finish the story, Sal. Forget him.
Yeah, right. Oh, he'll get really mad.
I gotta sit somewhere. Go back to playing Infamous. I'm gonna shoot people with smoke powers.
Okay, is everybody here?
Yeah, we're all here.
Hold on, I
It's
gotta.
playing for me now.
Does everybody plan on being here for more than 5 or 6 minutes?
No, I gotta go.
You gotta
Really?
go.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
God
okay.
damn it. All right, good.
Wait, isn't it like 3 a.m. for you guys?
Yes.
Where are you at, man? Like, is your wife trying to suffocate you with a pillow? Like,
Oh no, the microphone is in my shirt. Hold on.
what the?
See? Is that better for you?
Yeah, it's way better.
God, man. God, I imagine your house is like 4chan. The stuff that goes on. Going vegetables,
Yeah.
Wait, no,
fruits.
I got another character. Log out.
I'm changing the battery out. Okay, so do we want to go ahead and get these stories started? Because
Yeah.
you know.
All right. Because then I'm gonna go to bed. 'Cause it's 10 to 3.
3 o'clock in the morning, and we're trying to tell stories about comic books,
Yeah.
about life in the comic book
Yeah,
world.
we're trying to tell a story, and we're not even doing it for the podcast.
Life in the fast lane.
Yeah, let's screw it. Let's just finish the story now, and then we'll just record it on Thursday.
Oh, this is getting uploaded like before Thursday,
All right.
probably tomorrow.
Are you that hard up for content?
No, man, like it's just gonna be funny
Yeah.
if,
that's fair.
if we
All
can
right.
actually get around to it.
All right, here we go. So I'm working at the comic book store. I'm working at Funny Books Comics and stuff in Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey. And
Hold on, I gotta go.
goddamn.
Damn it!
So it's summertime. This is only a couple months ago. I'm working at the store. It's like 7 o'clock at night, but it's summertime. So the sun's still out. The door's open. We're trying to like get some breeze in, and it's like an hour before closing.
Mhm.
And this dude walks through the door, and he's probably like at most 21. He looks like a high school Letterman football player from like the 60s. Like he's an amazing shape. He's really young, and he's wearing like a high school Letterman jacket, like with the varsity letter on it and everything. And he comes in, and the only thing that really distinguishes that like he's contemporary is that he's dating a like Indian woman. So like there's there's actual like progress going on as opposed to like him traveling from the 60s. And they come in. She says nothing. She doesn't say a word. She's just looking around like they've entered into a museum, and he comes up and he starts casing the place, like just looking at all the books on the rack, and he's like looking at all the statues, but with like the eyes of a child, just complete wonderment in his face. And I'm like, and at one point my business acumen kicks in, and I'm like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Yeah, man."
No, wait. When did that kick in? Did you just stare at him for like 20 minutes?
Yeah, I watched him do this for like maybe 5 minutes.
Just staring in awe at all the comics.
Well, I'm like pretending to do things, but I'm just watching him because like at first I was just like, all right, well he's gonna pick up his books and he's gonna come up and buy them and leave. But like he didn't leave, and he just kept looking at different things. But he wasn't picking up the books; he was just looking at the covers. So
Wow.
I go, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Yeah, man. Do you have like any old comics?" And I'm like, "Well, we really like our back usually only go back like about 2 or 3 years because we really try to keep like everything kind of new and fresh at the store. Like the owner of the store has a whole bunch of like older books, but they're like at his storage unit because they don't sell." And he's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Well, how far back you looking?" And he's like, "I'm thinking like really old, I guess. Like I don't know how old." Like he goes, "These new comics, they have like the art's like it's good, but it's not what I remember. It's just really like it's more like I'm looking at a movie, And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean like modern comics kind of really shifted towards that more realistic style. Like, well, what's an artist that you're looking for?" And he's like, I'm looking for like."
I burned my mouth.
Oh shit! On your chamomile tea that you were
On my chamomile tea. It's hot. Like,
Do we have to teach you how to drink tea?
No, you don't have to teach me how to drink tea. It's just hot.
Something from your garden.
Go tend to your garden, Benny. Grow your carrots and berries.
No, it's not carrots and berries. I'm growing plums and berries. The reason she's upset with me is I don't have carrots.
Well, why don't you have carrots, man?
Because they're not a good seller right now. Plums and berries sell better.
Yeah, but carrots are delicious.
Yeah, the carrots are delicious. So
It's
anyway,
not carrots. It's chicken carrots.
So he's like, "Do you have any books by like the like?" He's like, "I can't remember the guy. He's like the older guy who like used to draw everything." And I'm like, "You mean like John Romita?" And he's like, "No, man." And I'm like, "You mean like Jack Kirby?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's him." And I'm like you remember? How you're younger than me by like a decade. So I grabbed the Marvel Essentials Thor omnibus from like the 60s, from like Tales of Suspense, and I'm like, "You mean something like this?" And he looks through it, he's like, "Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. Like this kind of shit right here." And I'm like, "Cool." And then he flips it over and he's like, $25, man. When did comics get so expensive? I'm like, within the last 30 years or so, I guess. If you're like if you're comparing it to prices from 1966. So, he's like, I'm like, "Well, comics have really come a long way. I mean, if you want to see what we've got," I'm like, I'm not treating him like a time traveler, or rather, I'm treating him like a time traveler, but I'm okay with that. Like, we always get time travelers.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "Well, I mean, if you want to sample something new, like, let me show you what we've got. Like, this is kind of a good sampling." So I grab like Constantine off the shelf, and I'm like, "Here you go." And he's like, "Yeah, man, see, this is crazy looking. This is like I'm looking at a movie. It's just everything looks real." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think that's kind of cool." He's like, "No, man, like I'm looking for like the older stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, fair enough." He goes, "Let me ask you something. Like, what's the Hulk been up to?" And I'm like, "What has the Hulk been up to?"
Well, he's been hanging out down at the bar on the street.
Right. Well, I'm more like, well, he's been like, what's your starting point? Like, when was the last time you read the Hulk? Was it 1970?
I mean, he's done a lot in the last 40 years or so.
Yeah, I'm like, well, like Peter David took over like in the 80s, and he was smart, and then he wasn't, and he split into different colors, and then there's Red Hulk, which I don't think you want to hear about. And I go, well, I mean, like, if you want to check out, like, this is a really definitive book, and I grab Planet Hulk, and he's like, "This book's $35. There's no way I can get that."
My God, man.
He goes, "I actually have a bunch of comics like that I remember when I was a kid. Like, do you have like that magazine that tells me the prices of all the comics?" And I'm like, "Do you mean Wizard Magazine?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, Wizard Magazine." And I go, "Unfortunately, Wizard Magazine closed in 2011. And he's like, "Wow." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, times have changed. Like, since the last time you read comics, which was I don't know when." And he goes, well, maybe I can get him at one of those comic book conventions. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you can get some comics at a book convention. And he goes, do you think there's any nearby? Like, do you think there's going to be one? And he's like, and he's describing his concept of what a comic book convention is. And it's what a comic book convention was in 1980. Like, where you go to the church basement and you like go through the long boxes and like, I'm like, and the creators are there. Like Stan Lee will appear at like the Brooklyn Comic Con, at like the Church Bazaar. And I'm like, well, you could go to the New York Comic Con. He's like, New York, yeah. Like, what's that one like? I'm like, well, you got to get tickets. And he goes like, well, you can't just pay when you get in. I'm like, no. I'm like, well, not when you're expecting 100,000 people. And he's like, 100,000 people read comics? I'm like, well, some of them, yeah. Like, you know.
No,
And,
nobody reads comics. We're supporting this store on our Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, and it's just, I was like, this is getting more and more bizarre. And he goes like, do you guys sell? He goes, do you know where I might be able to get like a superhero T-shirt, like a T-shirt with like a superhero's logo on it? He's like, do you think I could get one of those at the New York Comic Con? I'm like, dude, I can guarantee you. I go, you can. I guarantee you can get one. I'm like, what are you thinking? Like Superman? He's like, yeah, like I'm thinking something more like obscure, like Flash. And I'm like, and I'm looking around for cameras at this point, but like there's none to be had. And the woman who's with him is looking at me like, yes, my boyfriend is a time traveler and he's very concerned about the history of comics. Like he really wants to get back into them. But unfortunately, he missed the last 60 years. Like, that's the look on her face. She's like, yeah, he's really serious. We're not fucking with you. So I go,
you're thinking you're like on a prank show. Like
yeah. At this point, I'm
candid
like, there's
camera.
no way. And he's dropping names, but like he remembers them immediately. And I'm like racking my brain from like 20 years ago to try and remember like the old stuff from then. And I'm like, dude, like you're dropping some science on me. But like he's doing it as a jock from the 60s who like maybe had like a closeted interest in comics. Like it was just really, really weird. So like we're talking about comic book t-shirts and I'm like, well, you could get 1,000 comic book t-shirts at a comic book convention, but like if you're looking for just a shirt with Batman's logo on it, he's like, yeah, Batman, that's a great one. I go, you could probably just go to the mall. And he's like, they sell comic book t-shirts at the mall? And I'm like, yeah, man, you could just go to like Hot Topic or Spencer's Gifts. I mean, there's a kiosk in the middle of the mall that just sells graphic t-shirts and most of them are superhero related. And he's like, wow. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, maybe I'm going to give that comic book show thing a try. He's like, honey, would you want to go to the New York Comic Book Convention? And she's like, not really. And he's like, well, maybe I'll give it a try anyway. He goes, but first, let's go to the mall and see if we can get a t-shirt. She's like, okay. And I'm like, all right, guys, have a good day. And she gives me this like, hey, thanks so much. Like, thank you for indulging him. Like kind of conversation. But like,
so wait, so she's acting like someone in the 60s who would have been like, why are you into this?
No,
this
she's acting like she's from 2014 and she's like, my friend here will occasionally slip between worlds. And he's here now, but he's actually born in 1945. So,
wow.
You know, like that was her reaction. She's like, you are really nice to have put up with this insanity because like the only person who has that much patience for this man is me. Like that was the kind of interaction I had with his girlfriend. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's what we do here at Funny Books is we help people, you know, whether you're from today or yesterday, like we're here to help.
Even like crazy ass people like this guy.
Yeah, even insane like time travelers like this guy. And I'm like, I wish I could remember more details, but like that's pretty much, I hit all the high notes. Like he asked for a copy of Wizard magazine to compare prices of comics. He expected Jack Kirby comics to be readily available. Like he was baffled by current art and prices, and he had no concept of the fact that comics and superheroes were mainstream at this point. Like, I was like, what the hell? And like, I did my best to not act like that was blowing my mind, but he totally blew my mind.
Something obscure like the Flash.
Yeah, like the Flash. I'm like,
no one knows who the Flash is.
I'm like, the Flash just finished his epic reboot of DC. Like, he is a major freaking player. Like, And I actually was
It
like,
would have been even better if he had said something like, like Green Lantern. Somebody obscure like Green Lantern.
he did mention Green Lantern. Like he's like Flash or Green Lantern, and I was like, you can get both those shirts at the mall, and he's like, no. I'm like,
You just blew his mind.
yeah. He's like, what? He's like, honey, we should go to the mall, and I can get a Green Lantern T-shirt.
God,
I'm like,
that
yeah,
would
you
be
can do all
so amazing.
you can do all kinds of things at the mall. You can get lunch, or you could get pants, or you can buy a dog. Like, there's all kinds of stuff you can do there.
You can get lunch.
You can just go hang out and walk around and look at stuff.
Yeah, no one will tell you to leave.
Yeah, you can look at hot girls. That's what I do when I go to the mall, man. I just check out hot girls. Like, that chick is hot.
Factor just went through the roof, Rob.
Do what now?
Your creep factor just went through the roof.
No, sir. No, sir.
Like,
I am not the only person who does
all
this.
the cuties in their tight shorts.
Oh, God. Dude, me and a coworker, we were talking.
You're not helping.
Me and a coworker were talking, and well, not really a coworker. Me and a friend of mine were talking, and
You're making it worse.
we were. I'm not making it worse. We were talking about like
Let him dig.
like we were talking about the wintertime versus the summertime.
Oh, well,
And
it's
we
not
were
fun.
like, man, like one of the most disappointing things in the wintertime is that the shorts go away. And I said, that's true. However, one of the best parts of the summertime is that the shorts are replaced by yoga pants. And sometimes the yoga pants are better than shorts.
yes.
In fact,
That's
I would
true.
say all the time, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Have no illusions. Rob Jefferson knows what's up.
Okay. Yoga pants. Got it.
Just throwing it out
Yeah.
there. But then again, it is 3 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah, that's fair.
And I am tired because I'm drinking my chamomile tea, and God
Yeah.
only knows what I will say.
It's true.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to jet because it's 1 a.m. here, and I'm a grown man who wants to go to sleep.
Oh, you want to go to sleep? Well, that's great because I'm 2 hours ahead of you, and I would love to have gone to sleep 2 hours ago.
Well, you're the one that answered the call.
Oh, that's my fault. Yeah, because I've been trying to get
It's
information from you guys
fault.
all day, and I was like, oh, finally.
Hey, I was at work. I was at work all day, so
That's fair.
I was
You
not
gotta
able to participate in the Skype discussion earlier.
Yeah.
However, this conversation has made up for it because we got to listen to Sal tell weird stories about a guy who apparently time traveled from
Yeah.
the 1960s to the current day
Yeah.
and was baffled by the idea that you can go to places other than malt shops and hang out with people.
Yeah, I should have told him, like, dude, if you want to take this young, hot dish out for a night on the town,
Would you really call her a dish?
well, it would have been what he was more familiar with. It's gonna cost more than 2 nickels to rub together for a phosphate at the hardware store. Like, you're gonna need to really put in some serious bank. It's gonna take at least a few paper routes.
This young hot dish. This tall drink of water.
Yeah, this
Okay.
hot tamale.
Yeah, oh boy.
Oh
you
my
swinging
God.
cats, you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just totally choked on my.
Or like, I don't even know how you guys are coming up with all these. I can't even come up with a 1960s like slang term joke. Like, you guys are just banging them out.
Yeah.
hot
Well, I'm
young
old.
dish.
Well, that's the trick here, Benny, is that I was that time traveler. And
Yes, yes. All right, well, I'm going to go on to Nick Reboot and watch about how kids just can't solve the Shrine of the Silver Monkey.
yeah. By the way, Rob,
Well,
I should tell you,
I'm gonna
every
pretend like
episode of Legends of the Hidden Temple is on YouTube.
Hmm.
If you just Google, if you just YouTube,
We're not gonna have a video for 3 days now.
huh?
He's gonna watch that nonstop. We're not gonna get a video from Marvel Explained. What's
That's
gonna end up
true.
happening now
Marvel
is he's
Explained
gonna
will
take
just
each
dip.
conversation, make it into 4 parts, release it every day.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna-
Like,
We're gonna
there's-
refresh Marvel Explained, and it's gonna switch, and there'll be just a big picture of Imhotep not Imhotep, Jesus,
Imhotep.
like
Olmec.
Olmec, and it'll be a Legends of the Hidden Temple show where you just talk about how great that show was.
I made this meme on Reddit, and I was talking about how, like, my apartment's, like, a difficult place to find. And I was like, this is how I imagine giving directions to delivery drivers. And it's like, well, how do I get to your house? You could start
In the dark forest.
in the
You might-
Shrine of the Silver Monkey.
I was just looking him up the other day. Like, actually, last night we were watching Nick Reboot because you can download that channel onto your Roku, so you can watch it like it's TV in your
Wow.
bed. By the way, you can't do it direct. You got to go on the website. You got to do a thing, but it's easy enough. You got to have the Roku download it.
Yeah.
But we were watching Legends last night, and like D. Bradley Baker plays Olmec, and it's the same fucking guy that plays like Steve Smith on American Dad and Klaus on American Dad. He plays like he's done so many different voices, and he's also Olmec. I'm like, that's awesome.
That is pretty awesome. Serious note though, is Tiffany going to be on the podcast again this week? Because people really liked her last week.
If you guys want her, she'll definitely come out. She's always really like, she's like, are you sure I wasn't an idiot? Like, did I not sound retarded? Like,
No, people really enjoyed her because I thought she brought a really good discussion
Guys.
with the whole idea of like gender and comics. And
More
stuff.
important, I just found Mexican Coca-Cola.
oh fuck yes, that's with real sugar.
I need to see. All right, you need to post a link to this.
It's great.
I don't know. It's this picture right here. I was looking at the Heart Attack Grill to see if it's in New York, so when we're all there, we can all just have heart attacks.
The Heart Attack Grill.
We're just in Nevada. But they're like the pictured here, a Heart Attack burger with fries and Mexican Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Like
God.
it specifies Mexican.
Oh yeah, you can get Mexican Coca-Cola at Costco. It uses cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup.
Oh my
Huh?
God, that sounds so good and so bad. I don't even
It's
need that
great.
shit, man. I need some of Benny's carrots and fruits. Is what I need, man. I need to get healthy.
Don't make the carrot. That was the fight.
Okay, before I bounce off here, there's a place here in town at the Meadowthorpe Cafe that has a dish called the Itis, and
Yeah.
it is a bacon double cheeseburger between two Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh Jesus, that is
People-
basically a Jim Gaffigan sketch. Look
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
Look out, McGriddle! Here comes the donut ham hamburger.
Like they made it after the episode of the Boondocks called the Itis.
Yeah,
Dude, it's such an awesome episode. You ever watch the Boondocks, Benny?
Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, dude, it was amazing. Like they made a whole town go to sleep. Like, it was awesome.
So,
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
I'm
bounce
gonna
off
hop off
here.
now, guys.
right.
I'll get with you guys in the morning.
Okay,
all right, cool.
later.
See you.